Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, how would you like to make a terrarium out of an old fish tank? Stick around. Today, doing this terrarium, I found this old fish tank that I had that I was actually going to, donate. But instead of donating it, I thought, I wonder what it would look like if I planted a terrarium in it. And what's cool about it is inside here, there's an LED light and everything. So this is a gallon and a half. This is a gallon and a half fish tank. Let's try our hands at building a terrarium and see what we can do, see how it can turn out. So the first thing you're gonna need is a terrarium or a fish tank or a vessel that you're gonna make into a terrarium. And then you're going to need some soil. You're going to need some rocks. And you're gonna need some plants. So for this one, actually let me show you. My very first one that I ever did was this terrarium right here. And it's actually grown. I'll attach pictures so you can see it right up here. But since I wasn't sure, that was my first build, and I wasn't sure how that terrarium would turn out. And there's a couple things that aren't the greatest in there, but there are other things that are actually flourishing. So if it's not broke, don't fix it, leave it alone. So today, in my terrarium, I am going to plant this Hoya bilobata. I am going to plant this Bella palm. I have this Peperomia parallel that I have had nothing but issues with, so I figured in the terrarium it can go. This looks like it's some ivy, so we'll put some ivy in there. And these are just little terrarium plants that you can pick up at, like I picked mine up at Bachman's. But look, there's even a little ivy growing right there. And then if anybody can tell me what Hoya this is, this was in one of those little terrarium pots as well. So I thought, I'm gonna go ahead and add it to it. And if there's any other space in there, I feel like I need to add anything, I figured I will go ahead and take some cuttings off of some of my other plants that I've got around here and root them up and see what happens. First step is, I'm gonna take the lid off of this. I washed out the old aquarium stuff. Set this aside for right now. Then you just get this, sorry, I get reflection. So in here, we are going to put, I'm going to put some river rock. Sorry for the noise. When you do this, no matter if it's plastic or glass, you always want to set them in there because it could crack the bottom. Might as well put the rest of them in. All right. Once your rocks are in, the next thing you want to do is grab your soil. And in this soil, the mixture I've got some cactus. I've got some cactus soil. I have some perlite. I have some orchid bark. And there's some activated charcoal in there as well, because I seem to always use the activated charcoal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this terrarium up. With some soil. So far I've got this amount. That's it for now. So I think the first one we're going to do is in this corner right here. In this corner right here, I think we're gonna put this cute little Bella palm. Look, there's even some roots coming out of it. So I'm just gonna leave it just how it is. Plant it down here. What are some of your favorite plants to put in them? I've only made one other one, and I think in that first one I did, there is some syngoniums, and looks like there's an angel wing begonia in there. And surprisingly, it seems to be doing well. So I'm going to turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to take this peperomia and put it in this other corner, because supposedly it's supposed to grow upwards. Hopefully that'll be what happens. And I just potted this up not long ago, so if the soil goes in there, I'm fine with that. Now I had these plants sitting in this overnight, and I just kind of was testing it. And the cool thing is, even though they weren't planted, it was nice and warm in there, and I think that's going to help some of these plants that I've had issues with do very well. If nothing else, if I ever want to add more, or some plants are getting too big for the area, I can always take those out and then put new cuttings in. So it's a way to root some cuttings as well. So I think I can't do this, I'm sorry. So I think now I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put this. This is going to go over in this corner. Make sure you get the soil all the way around it. See if I can get it to stand up here. This is kind of fun. I actually didn't think that making these things would be as fun as they are, but they kind of relax me. So let's put this Hoya that I have no idea what kind of Hoya it is. If you do, please let me know. I want to say it's the Carnosa Green, but I am not sure, and I don't want to venture a guess. But I am going to put that in here. Ooh, it's rooting. So let's put that down here. Throw some more soil back here. This is gonna be fun. I love watching these, and the cool part is this one has a light in it, and I think I'm either gonna put it in my kitchen, since my kitchen has next to no light in it, or I'm going to put it underneath my TV stand. So let me see if I can pull this out. Oops. Gets a little messy. But it's fun to play in the dirt at times, isn't it? Okay. So I'm gonna go see if I can find a few more things around the house. Did some scavenging around the house. And because I figured you never know what you have laying around that could actually fit into a terrarium. Either plant-wise or otherwise. So I found this bag from when my family went up north to Lake Superior a few years back, and myself and my nephew went and looked for driftwood along Lake Superior. And I thought, granted I have a whole big bag of it, but that looks like it's gonna be perfect size for me to fit into the terrarium. We also found some rocks that when we were up there. So family memories, you know. And so I'm gonna put that in there, but I also have this piece of Monstera siltepecana that I've been rooting in water. I'm gonna put that in there. And then I have this peperomia serpens that I am going to put in there and see how that works too. And I have this little bitty baby spider plant. Look at those roots that has to be potted. So I'm wondering if I could put that in there too. So let's see what we can find. I'll aim you down here. Hope you can see that well. So I am going to remove some of this, remove the peperomia, and I'm going to remove the Hoya for now. And I'm going to put in this little piece of driftwood. A couple other pieces. I do have a couple other pieces. There's a couple more little ones. So I'll do that. And then the spider plant, how that looks in there. Sooner or later it's going to outgrow its space, but it does need to be rooted or planted right now. But that's what's cool about a terrarium. You can always change it up at a later date, you know? Let's put the serpents, take a couple of the leaves off of it. It should root okay from the node. And we'll bury that back by the stick. Just gotta make sure it's buried, you know. Put this peperomia back in here. I was going to use some moss, but I think I'm just going to leave it. Okay. Some rocks in here. There's so many fun things you can do. It all just is going to depend on your imagination. Oh yeah, this would work. I think all the soil areas that I can see, I'm gonna fill with this little pebble, with these little pebbles here. Have you guys ever done a closed terrarium? That's one I think I'm going to do next, because I actually enjoy doing these things. There's something about them that's like therapeutic. I love to create, and I think this is very soothing for me. Are almost done. And making a mess, but who doesn't like to make messes? Okay, a little bit more. Driftwood. There. Okay, you guys. I just have to get it watered up. Just have to get it watered up. The glare is horrible. See a little bit. I'll definitely be inserting some pictures. But one thing I like to do is I will water it completely in. Oops, I gotta put these rocks in. I will water it completely in. And then after that, if it needs to be watered, I will use my favorite pump watering thing here. And what I like about it is look how, see how thin and spray it is? I love the mist on that. Okay, change this out for this right here. Put this back here. Oops. This like this. And you get to a point where it's like, I'm done touching it. No more. And when you get to that point, whoops, shoot, gotta put this little monstera in there. Put it right here. There. Yay. Gosh, I love this. I cannot wait to show you pictures of what this is going to look like because I have some high hopes for this one. All right, everybody. Here it is so far. Can't see it. Oh well, here it is. And what I'll do is I will go ahead and water this in. I will put it in place and I will attach some pictures and some videos so you can see what it looks like. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on this how to make a terrarium. You know, sometimes you just gotta do something out of the ordinary and something that'll relax you, because there's a lot of times that there's a ton of stresses out in the world, and do something for yourself. And also never, never, never forget to always just do something nice for somebody, because you really don't know what the other person's going through. And not only does that go for online, but it goes for offline as well. Because if you're not nice to somebody, that could be the one person that's having a horrible, horrible day. And you, by doing one nice thing, could actually save that person's life. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a great day. Leave notes down in the comments and let me know if you've made terrariums. What are your favorite kind of plants to put in terrariums? If you'd like to see me do more of these terrariums, let's talk. All right, talk to you later. Thank you.